I was able, why am I stupid? Hello, you can't really see one of my eyes, that's gonna be so annoying, isn't it? Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well. So, today I'm going to be continuing a series that I love doing and you guys love to be a part of. It's the Help Me Art Dad. Didn't mean to call myself an art dad, but I guess I'm everyone's dad now. I really wanted to start off the year, or at least in the first month of the year, do another one of these videos, because again, I love to make them, you guys love to watch them and be a part of them, and it's a great way to start off the new year. I really wanted to do it. Before I say anything else though, I do want to say that the filming of this video might be a little bit weird. So currently, I have someone staying over at my house, which is fine. But also these videos can take a little bit of time to make, so I might record it in sections, so every couple of characters or so you might see the setup change a little bit, and that's just what that is. Sorry about that. I'd film it all in one go if I could, but I honestly have no idea when I'm going to have this space available for filming, so in case you don't know what this is, pretty much over on Instagram I host this little thing, and it's just to help you guys with character designs. So if you have an original character that you have but aren't quite happy with the design with, this is the time where I do my best to help you make it a little bit better, I guess. Over on Instagram, I made a post all about hashtag help me art dad. Two. If you don't know what's going on, here's kind of like the rules I have set in place. So since this is the second one, I added the rule of if your character got chosen last time, I kindly ask that you sit out this time just to have other people have more of a chance. When part 3 comes at some undetermined point in the future, feel free to join then, but just for this round, just let everyone else have a little bit of a chance. Another rule is that if you submitted a character last time but it did not get chosen, you can submit that same character again underneath the new hashtag if you still wanted to enter that character. Thirdly, any character that you post must be your own. It cannot be anybody else's character, it has to be your original character. If you don't want me to draw your character or have them in a video, or if you would be upset by me trying to change the design of your character a little bit, then don't post to the hashtag. And lastly, don't feel obligated to keep any changes that I make. This isn't me saying, here's what your character needs to be. It's, if you're having trouble with these specific things, here are some ideas that I have. Feel free to use them or not, or make your own thing. And also I want to say really quick that if I don't choose your specific character, but you're still having trouble with character design, I hope that you can still watch this video and get something from it. Maybe take some of the things that I say about other characters and try to apply them to your own character. This is just supposed to be a fun little way to help me teach you guys about character design and to help you guys a little bit, because I always get nice feedback and critique on what I can be doing to improve my characters and my art. So this is just me trying to give back to you guys a little bit. And with that, let's look at the hashtag. Here I am in the hashtag. Oh, is this going to be in the way? Oh dear. Here we are in the hashtag. As always, you guys have a lot of submissions for me. A lot of different kinds of characters. I love seeing your guys' character. What do you guys have for me? Let's try scrolling from the bottom and we'll pick someone from the bottom first. This character is here 3 times. You're not fooling me. Okay, well this character was posted many a times, so I guess I'll do this character. That's what I'm gonna go with. So after looking at the different posts of the character, basically I get emo soft boy. So that's the direction I'm assuming you want to go in. So this character clearly has a color palette of black and pink, which is perfectly fine, but I think adding a variety of tones in those hues, I should just stop trying to use the correct terms. I'm really bad at it. I think adding a little bit of variation and different tones of those hues can help make it a little bit more visually interesting. Pointy ears. I didn't even notice that. I love pointy ears. Love me some elf ears. Get you a man who can be an elf. Can't seem to find if he's like not a human. I also noticed you have the two-toned eye thing going on, which I noticed a lot of like younger artists do. And that can work out fine, depending on the character, and it could work for this character, but generally I would say avoid it if you can. I think a lot of younger artists do that to try and make their character visually interesting, but depending on the type of character, it can just be a little gaudy. Again, it can work, and since this character has a fairly simple color palette, I think it could also work here. If you did want to keep the 2 different colored eyes, then I would suggest maybe like making them darker. So instead of making them like a bright pink and what was the other one? I'm dumb. So instead of making them like a bright pink and a black, you can keep the black and then maybe make the other one more of like a magenta. And then also here I kind of tucked a lot of the hair behind the ears, just because I think if you wanted to keep the pointy ears, really showing them off like this can be something that can make the character look more interesting, because it's like, oh, this character is not a human. I think that they are a really fun feature to have, but like I said, I didn't quite notice that they had them at first, and so I think if you pushed the hair out of the face a little bit and like maybe exaggerated the pointiness, it can really, it can do something. I'm at a loss of words right now. This is pretty early in the morning, man. So I really like the color scheme, and this character has a very clear aesthetic going on, which is good. I like this outfit. Let's go with that one for me to play around with. There's not too much for me to say about the outfits, honestly. I think that you did a good job with the outfit choices. I think something to keep in mind is like why isn't my eraser working? That's really offensive. One thing to keep in mind is like how a character can wear clothes. You know, I don't know a whole lot about your character. I just know the little information that I have here, but this character's wearing, I didn't button it up all the way. Even just little details like that, those can really say things about your character. Shy, artsy, and hot-headed. Those are the 3 traits that I'm reading on this post. And also, since a part of the character is artsy, then maybe he would be a little bit more adventurous with his clothing. So do you like my mug? My dog got it for me for Christmas. So like in this drawing, he's wearing like a button-up shirt, shorts, and I think tall boots. Again, getting real adventurous with clothing choices. But let's say, I don't know, we make the shorts a little bit poofy. So it's like we're taking the basic like short that we all often wear, and we're just adding a little something to make them stand out a little bit more, and then that can help show that he's like a creative person. I don't know how to explain it. In my head it makes sense. I don't know, if he's a more artsy person, he might want to get a little bit more artsy with his clothing too. So maybe you can also add like, I don't know, like a pattern. Tall boots I think is a very good choice for this character, so I would suggest being those. Now again, I don't know a lot about this character, but if they are a non-human character, maybe you can add something else to indicate that. Or maybe they're like half human. And then maybe something else that we can do is add a little bit more pink throughout the design. So in some of the other outfits, he is wearing pink, like he has like a pink sweater and stuff like that. So characters often have like sort of a main outfit that they wear, and so maybe for his main outfit we can add that pink somewhere else. Where? Don't know. Shoelaces? I don't know. And then he can have other outfits where it's more pink, more black, or just a completely different color. But I do think it's important to have a main outfit that has like a very clear color scheme all throughout it. Then that way it's just a little bit more identifiable to other people. Yeah, this is what I came up with. It's not too different, but again, it's just more of taking what you already have and building off of it. So I hope that you'll like it. I hope that you'll take these things into consideration, even if you don't go with these exact things. And I think your character is really fun, and thank you for submitting. Alright, let's see what other characters you have for me. Love those colors. That's so neat. Oh, same. Fully same. Okay, well, here's another one. See, I honestly don't feel like the design is that original, considering her outfit look like Luca's. I'm assuming you mean my Luca. They do have dog ears and a tail. They also kind of play a big role in the story that they're in. The personality is very childish and bubbly, so I hope that helps, and I designed them based off of the pansexual pride flag. Okay, I will work on your character and see what I can come up with. You said that your character's outfit isn't original, and that it looks like my character's, but here's the thing, it doesn't really matter. I don't know how many of you guys have put these little pieces together, but Luca's outfit looks a lot like Maka Allbarn's, so you don't need to worry about making your character 100% unique and original. So nowadays it's hard to be completely unique and original without being super crazy and out there. Because at this point, so many things have already been done. And I think that as long as you aren't intentionally ripping someone else's work off, then it's perfectly fine to have similarities. Like I said, Luca's outfit looks a lot like Maka's. I wasn't thinking about Soul Eater when I made him, and even though their outfits look similar, they're still very different characters. I think instead of worrying about if your character looks too much like another person's character, you should worry more about what design elements suit this specific character. Dog ears. Did you know that I'm a dog dad? I don't know your character's story. I don't know how the dog ears are relevant to your story, but what I do know is that there's a way to make these dog ears seem a little bit more like included in the design, if that makes any sense. Because a big part that I noticed is that they seem a little off in terms of like the breed of dog. I don't know if there's like intent behind that. I don't know if it matters a whole lot, but I will say consider your dog breeds. She also has glasses, big circle glasses. Love me a big circle glasses gal. Let's talk more about what I mean when I get to the coloring phase. I think when you have a character with ears like this, it's important to keep their hairstyle into consideration. And I think that like the long hair that's just like down is definitely how someone with dog ears would style their hair. Now obviously I cannot say for sure because I do not have dog ears. As always, keep the character's occupation and personality in mind. I do think if she's supposed to be like a cutesy, like bubbly character, you're definitely on the right track. She also seems like a student. That's the vibe I'm getting. Or maybe she's just preppy. I don't know her life. If you wanted to change up her clothing a little bit, but keep the same general aesthetic, I would say consider different options of clothing she's already wearing. So let's say she keeps the sweater vest, so we can draw that in here. People don't normally wear just a sweater vest. And so here's the long sleeve. If you didn't want to do that, you wanted to change it up, you could keep the button down, but make it maybe short sleeves. And then you can play around with like different types of sleeves. You can make them poofy, or you can make them down like this. World is your oyster. Or if you don't want to do that, you could also give her like a turtleneck. And again, you can play around with short sleeves or long sleeves. But again, just a couple of options for you. And then we can keep the skirt. You can also play around with lengths of the skirt. You can make it shorter, you can make it longer. Really, I would say the length of the skirt depends on the character's personality, of course, and then what she often does in a daily basis. Let's see, I can't tell if those are shoes or socks, but either way, they're on her feet and they're pink. Those things cannot be denied. Childish can mean a couple of different things. It can mean like very high energy, or it can mean just like very innocent. Another thing that we can try if you don't like those shoe options. Add literally anything. I'm not the best when it comes to shoe designs. Look at different shoes. I really like that you have a color scheme based off of something. That definitely makes it easier. But that if you're not super satisfied with those, playing around with the arrangement of colors is something that you can consider. And we can also play around with like the saturations of different colors. When you have a character based off of a specific color scheme, it doesn't need to be exact color matches. And so like for here, like the pansexual flag has a lot of bright, not quite pastel, but a very like a very bright color scheme. Like one thing that I would suggest is toning down the blue, both in terms of brightness and saturation. I made the hair quite dark, but you can brighten it up. Because if you don't like the placement of the colors, you can also, like, let's say we can switch the sweater and the skirt, or that like that, and then we can make socks or the shoes this color. Maybe we can make the shirt a different color. Whenever I'm making a new character and I get their design down, but I get to the color scheme, I always make at least 3 different little thumbnail sketches. 4 is ideal, or more. And you can just play around with different color layouts and such. And a lot of the time a person can be led to believe that their character design sucks or that they don't like it, but really they might just not be happy with the color scheme or even where the colors are arranged. Like here you can be super happy with the color scheme, but you said you're not like super happy with her outfit. Here I played around with a bunch of different outfit layouts and I already have like 3 very different outfits. So if that's something that you're struggling with, just have that. And then here with the ears, I was saying they seemed a little out of place because there was brown and there wasn't really any other brown. So what I say, go golden retriever. Yeah, here's some ideas. I hope that this was a little bit helpful to you. I definitely tried my best, so I hope that you like it. I hope that I gave some good advice. I really like your character and thank you for submitting. Okay, my camera's dying. Let's see if I can get one more character in today and then I'll pick the rest tomorrow. Avery. Hi, Avery. I know you're probably watching. I really like this art. My entry for Help Me Your Tattoo. This is Amelia. She's an OC of mine, obviously. I love her hair color, and antlers, but I really need help with the outfit, so it would be awesome if you could oblige Oliver. Of course, if you don't get to me, that's completely fine. Well, guess what? I am getting to you. You can't do anything about it. Take that. So just a general tip for everyone. I noticed a trend with a lot of characters here and a lot of characters last time is people saying that they have a hard time with outfits. I mentioned a couple of times to keep the character's occupation and personality in mind, but I get that that can be too vague of a thing and you need specific suggestions. So one thing I would suggest is go to Pinterest. So I use Pinterest a lot when I need inspiration. I save different articles of clothing that I come across that I like to different boards. Pinterest has this thing now where you can organize each board and make kind of like boards within a board. I think it's really helpful, especially if you use Pinterest the way I use it, because I always save clothes underneath different aesthetics. So let's say I want a character more on the edgy side. I have like a Pinterest board for more like edgy articles of clothing. A lot of people have just found my Pinterest. It's not something that like I'm looking to grow. I guess I can leave that linked in the description below if you want to see what I have or if you just don't know how it works. I really like the marks on the face that you have. So you really liked the hair, so I don't think I'm gonna really change that. So I can't see a whole lot of the character's outfit, but I do like what I see. So from what I get looking at this character, between like the antlers and the leaves she has on her hands, don't know why this helped me remember, she clearly has some sort of ties to nature, and I think that that's something to keep in mind. So she has this like arm tattoo thing. I don't know if the design of that is relevant really, but I think if you could make that more plant-based, this doesn't look like a plant, but you know what I mean. You can make that more plant-based, or if you wanted to keep that the same as it is, you can add another sort of arm tattoo over here, or you can just straight up have this be a plant wrapped around her arm. Whatever you want. When I think of like a naturey outfit, I think of like shorts and sandals, which honestly doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because you would think it'd be the opposite. I feel like if you're like trekking through the woods or whatever, like she can. My battery's dying, oh no. But she can, what was my thought? If she's not entirely human, maybe if she's like a part animal or something, she doesn't like covering her legs. Okay, my battery's dying, I gotta go. Okay, so a couple of other thoughts that I wanted to put in here that I didn't get the chance to because my camera died. Another important factor into making a character's outfit is like the complexities of their character traits. So sometimes a character can have 2 traits that are completely contradictory. And that's not a bad thing, that can actually make for a very interesting character. But when it comes to designing articles of clothing and whatnot, those contradicting things can prove to be an issue. So just think about which one is stronger. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully it does. And another thing is not everything about a character design needs to be practical. I talk a lot about practicality, and that is absolutely an important thing to consider when you're making a design. But it's okay to have one or more things that aren't practical as long as there are other parts of your character design that are practical. And if it's not going to be a nuisance into your character, then it's perfectly fine to have those sort of impractical stuff. Like, so for example, earlier in the video I talked about giving her sandals, but I actually ended up giving her boots, and that's because I thought that that'd be more practical. But also, I also left the side of her shirt open like the original had, because I thought that that was a really good design element. And if she is the type to be adventuring out in nature, which is completely an assumption, but if that is her, then that wouldn't be the most practical thing, but since there are other practical parts of her design, it's okay to have those features. One more thing is adjusting colors ever so slightly can help make the color palette more pleasing to the eye. So let's say you have a black. Instead of making it pure black, like completely all the way desaturated, try adding some green undertones, like for this character, since there is like the plant element. Like if you have some other theme or any other color palette, try giving your blacks and stuff more of those undertones, and it can help make it seem a little bit more cohesive. Anyways, back to regular scheduled programming. Oh, also thank you for submitting your character. I'm sorry that my camera cut out on your character, but I hope you don't mind. Sorry. What up? Day 2. Don't give me sass, Zola. Got my cat mug this time. I'm also a cat dad and an art dad. I'm a dad of many talents. Anyways, let's actually get the show on the road. So I've scrolled to about where we were last time. And I believe last time we were just going up. Pokemon. Ooh, I don't really like how he turned out. Well, I do, so fight me about it. So there's another thingy going on and I had to submit something. This is my OC, Alvaro. And he's the protagonist of his universe. He's supposed to be the youngest son to a royal family, but I'm struggling with his design quite a bit. I think the main thing is that he's as masculine as I want him to be, and his color palette / outfit is plain and doesn't appeal to the eye. He really needs to pop more, you dig? I do dig. Alvaro is 22, cis male, bi, and really just needs a nap. Same. Basically, he's on an adventure of sorts, and I don't think his clothes reflect that well at all. Okay, I think I maybe have some assistance. So I think you're definitely headed in the right direction. One thing that I think can benefit you is to just, like, you can just stand to be a little bit more adventurous with the color scheme. You played it very safe with the color scheme, which has its benefits as well as its downfalls. For a character like this though, since he's supposed to be both royalty and like an adventurer, you can stand to be a little bit more out there. I think that you have a really nice base of a character here. You also said you wanted him to be more masculine. Take some masculine features, make a little list of them, and then pick a couple to really exaggerate. I'm going to give him more broad shoulders. I think another thing, you have a lot of cool colors in his design, which I think is ideal. You can have a royal character with warmer colors, but I think it's more common to have cooler colors because royal blue is literally the name of the color. And then also, I'm pretty sure purple was common for royal characters because purple fabric, like in our actual real life history, purple fabric was more expensive to produce, and so it was really only wealthy people that wore them. I do really like the hair. I think cat. And also, how come you, Zola, you only ever decide to eat when I'm filming? Your food bowl is there all the time. I feed you breakfast first thing in the morning, and yet you wait until I'm filming to eat. The heck, man. So anyway, I really like the hair. I think that the long hair definitely suits him as a royal character. The hair, I don't know how happy you are with the hair. You didn't really say anything with the hair, but maybe you can add like a ribbon or something. I'd like to give my royal character bows. What happened there? You can also give him a ponytail. I think a third option is to give him more of a low ponytail. I kind of am digging the low ponytail, so I'll keep that. But again, whichever one you want is perfectly fine. I think most of the outfit is actually quite nice, and I think most of its downfalls are in the color scheme. Hi! Another thing is just to add small embellishments, because normally I would say keep the random embellishments to a minimum, but since he is a royal character, you can get away with that really, because royal outfits tend to be a lot more out there. The thing that I noticed on the jacket is that the sleeves flare out. What I think can be a good idea to play around with is these things that I still don't know the name of. The thing around his neck, if you bring that down to the sleeves, and it can be like a poofy shirt sleeve instead of a flaring out thing, I think that can help tie that detail in. The cut of the coat is also something that can be a little bit of a difficult decision to make because he's royalty and also an adventurer. For royalty characters, I like to make long dangly articles of clothing, but also if he's an adventurer, that can get in the way. I made this like triangle cut shape thing. No other reason than I think it gives an interesting shape. The pants and the boots I quite like. I think that can be more of his like adventurer side. I think if you keep heading in the cool color direction, it'll lead you to a place that you really like. I'm gonna go with blue. Give him more of a bright thing. Because even small stuff like this seems a little bit more interesting than like the almost gray colored jacket. I always like adding gold or yellow. One, because blue, and two, because rich. You can even add small details like you can have the seams of his jacket gold, and those are just small things where it's like, it's such a small, easy detail change, but it just adds a lot more visual interest. Maybe some buttons. Details don't have to be like patterns or like more articles of clothing. It could just be something like this. Just don't be afraid to get experimental with it. I hope that I was able to help you out a little bit. I hope that I was able to help you with the things that you were struggling with, and also anybody else who had similar issues. And I hope that you take things into consideration, and thank you for submitting. Alright, I don't know how many I'm gonna do. I think last time I did 7, so maybe do around the same amount. Go to the top. Let me see what you guys have for me. That rhymed! I'm basically a songwriter now, so... Alright boys, it's happening. It is indeed happening. Okay, so this is my OC. Her name is Katerina Petrova, and she works as a bodyguard, but right now her design seems kind of flat to me. I don't know. She's 26 and has sort of feminine flower goings on. Oh, flair. I know how to read. Also, I can't decide if I want to keep that bionic eye or not. It would make sense because of her job and stuff, but it seems a little out of place to me. Do what you want with it, lol. Alright. I think I can definitely help you out. I have some ideas. Let's get to it. I do completely agree that the bionic eye seems a little out of place. But also at the same time, you're right that it does make sense that she would have it. So your two options are that you can get rid of it, or you can add more robot-y parts elsewhere in her design. I think that doing the latter would be a little bit more interesting. I think that that can give her character a little bit more intrigue, because it's like, what the heck happened? Why is she basically part robot at this point? Who knows? I want to know. I think another issue would be the hair. Like I was saying earlier, characters tend to have like one main outfit that they have, like the one that identifies them as them, and then they usually have other secondary outfits. And I think for her main character identifying appearance, she should have her hair tied up in some way, because if she is a bodyguard, that's something that can probably be a little bit frustrating for her. Could definitely keep the poofy hair though. We all know I am one for poofy hair. So with the bionic, is that the word bionic? The robot eye. Do you know Teen Titans? You can have like, not really an eye, but more of just like a lens, I guess. If it is something that stands out on her, you can make it really stand out. Like make it big and bulky. Maybe make it come onto her head a little bit more. That just looks like hair, but I think you get my point. And I think if you give her a high ponytail, it can it can help keep the hair a similar silhouette to what you had, but it can also make it just a bit more practical for her character design. So the outfit is a little bit contradictory, because if she has like the feminine flair, and if that's something that you wanted to keep, you're definitely on the right track with that, but also at the same time, if she is a bodyguard, it might not be the most practical outfit for her to wear. I think if she had like kind of different layers of her outfit, I guess, I don't really know how to explain it, but basically like, what if her base outfit was like the more feminine part, but then she had like an overcoat or an like overshirt or like a trench coat or something that like elongates, like, I'll show you what I mean. It provides an opportunity to have the more feminine characteristics underneath, so it's like she can have her coat kind of open when she's just regular person things, but then she can like zip it up when she is more in bodyguard mode. And that way her body is more protected from whatever shit might be going down. The way she can keep it closed is really up to you. You can have a zipper, you can have like, but again, try not to go too crazy with it, just to keep it Bro, now for the skirt, I think, again, if you wanted feminine flair, that's something to keep, but I also think that like it can get a bit part on her leg. I can't tell if those are shorts underneath the skirt or a part of the skirt, but I think having shorts underneath can be a better option for her. And I also think that if you made the skirt a little bit longer, it can help differentiate the skirt and the shorts. I was talking about giving her more robot features, and so I think it'd be interesting if one of her legs was kind of more like a robot. I would highly suggest looking up references of like bionic body parts, which is something that I'm not doing here, so I'm just kind of making it up, which is not something that you should do. And you should use references, but just for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna sketch something out. And then that way, the robot eye seems more intentional, I guess you could say. I do like the color scheme that you had, and I don't think I would do anything too different myself. But if I could make one suggestion, I think it would be to switch the white out for a black or a dark gray. I just think that given her character role, that would suit her a little bit more. So if you have like the red skirt and then the black top, maybe you could do like a black jacket and then a dark gray top, which I think would just benefit her character a little bit more. I hope that I was able to provide you with some insight. Even if you don't go with this, maybe something to consider. I think that you should focus a little bit more on the bodyguard part of her, because I think that that wasn't a super prominent part in her character design. So maybe take that into consideration. And we just see if you do anything with her. Alright, that was character number 5, I believe. So let's do a couple more. Moving back downwards. Ooh, that's cute. These are so many cute characters, dear lord. I really like her. Okay, this is Felicity. She was made at the same time as Kalila. I'm so sorry. I'm really bad at reading. And they're obviously not dating. Oh no, am I leaking into your guys' personal lives? I'm so sorry. She's snazzy, I know. Stan pans. We do, in fact, stan pans. I think I can help you out a little bit. Okay, so my first impressions of her. She seems to be a spunky little gal, which is always a fun time. We stan pans and spunky little gals. I think the main thing that I would say is that it's how 16, I believe, right? Yeah, 16. She looks a bit older than 16. I think if you wanted to go short hair, that would be fine. I think the bangs are pretty good, so keep them kind of old Dan and Phil type. Like if you wanted to keep the short hair, I think if you made it just a bit longer in the back. Aww. She's so cute, I love her. I think giving her a cropped can be fun. It can keep the same silhouette that you have, but again, make her look a little younger. What if I added a zipper in the front? Yeah, boy! Okay, hang on. I think that can help keep the same general idea of her, but still make her look younger. If you wanted a second sort of option, give her sleeves, but again, if you wanted to keep a similar silhouette, I would keep them pretty short. But honestly, I think I prefer it without the sleeves. Another thing that I can suggest, I think, would be adding that gold color to other places in her design. Because if it's just on the earrings, it can seem a bit out of place and kind of random. I like to imagine her wearing this outfit to school and everyone being like, dress code, and she's like, screw your dress code. Because dress codes, am I right? I think shorts can be another good option for this character. She seems to be a type of person who's more comfortable showing her body. I think if that is accurate for her character, I think wearing shorts is something that you can use to show that a little bit more. I think her head is too big. Ripped pants, most fashionable of all the pants. Okay, so we have those pants. Can have shorts or no shorts or pants. That would be the proper thing to say. I think I do like the shorts, but again, the option is up to you. And then shoes. I think sneakers suit her design, so I think I'm just going to draw those Vans that you already have for her. Honestly, your old color scheme is pretty nice. Again, the only criticism I really have with the color scheme would be to add more of the gold color. This skin is really yellow. It's fine. Maybe that's how you're going to tie in the yellow. And there we go. There she is. Ooh, I just got an idea. Kidding, not done. Another way that you can bring that gold color elsewhere, you can give her yellow socks. I think for her character, I like the short ones, or you can add it to her shoes, whichever you want. And now that I'm looking at it more, I think that this pink color can be added elsewhere too. But again, just things to consider. I hope that this was of some help to you, and I said something that struck a chord, but that's a bad thing. Something that resonated with you. I hope I was able to help you out in some way, even if you don't go with this. I think that your character is really fun, and I can't wait to see if you go with this design or something similar or something completely different, but just something different from your original one. I can't wait to see it, so let me know what you thought. I was able, why am I stupid? Alrighty, I seem small in the camera again because I am a whale boy apparently. We have time for one more character, so let's get to it. Let's see. That's a really cool design. I love that. Okay, there's so many characters. Oh my god. I mean, same. But it's just making this hard for me. Here is my OC. She's on a quest to find all the holders of these objects called gem crystals. However, I don't have a name for her. Can you help me? She's a basic heroine and somewhat of a tsundere. Also, I don't really like her outfit. To me, it screams basic. Okay, I can definitely help with that, I think, maybe. So to me, Abby, can you please not try and eat that plastic bag? Oh my god. Swear to god, you're like a toddler, like a human toddler. You're like 5. So the main thing to me that sticks out about her character is her color scheme. It seems a little bit all over the place, because you have the orange in her hair, then you have the yellow on her eyes, you have the green shirt, you have the red shorts, and it just seems like a lot. I think narrowing down which colors you really want in her character can be beneficial. I really like the character's general aesthetic. So overall, I think the silhouette of the character is something that you should keep. I really like the orange hair and I really like the hairstyle. I think if you exaggerate the bigness of the hood, that can also help give her a more interesting and unique silhouette. I don't know how small she's supposed to be, but she seems to be pretty small. Cat! This is very, very rude. My subscribers will hear about this. I really like that detail that connects, like on her cloak, that connects the hood pieces together. I also think if you made the cloak a bit longer, that can help. I think that the short cloak does look fine, but again, just a thought. It doesn't need to be super long, I think, like maybe a little bit longer than waist length. And I find that a lot of the times when people say that their character seems kind of basic, a big thing is because of the silhouette. Like, a character can have really basic, like, design traits. Like, you could have a simple hairstyle, you could have a simple, like, t-shirt and a simple, like, pair of pants. And for a lot of people, the reason that that seems more boring is because they don't stand out, but you can take those elements and exaggerate parts of them to make them seem more unique without having to get like super crazy. So I think if there's any one color that I would eliminate from this color scheme, I think it would be the green. Like, even just by doing that, it helps the color scheme a lot. You can't really see her shirt too much. I think if you raise the collar a little bit, it can help show the shirt, especially if she is wearing that cloak. Sometimes the shirt will be covered up, so if you gave it a higher collar, then I think that can help that. I always draw these kinds of shoes. I don't know what they are. It's like a shirt collar, but on shoes. Maybe if you increase the saturation on the orange hair, because that's another thing that I noticed about the colors, is that there isn't a whole lot of contrast. Like, if you were to make this image black and white, all of the colors would be sitting in a similar shade of gray, which is something that you want to try and avoid. So I also think I'm going to darken up the red shorts. I'm going to make her eyes brown because I liked the brown as the shoe color. We're bringing the brown more throughout the color scheme. And then for this gold color, just add something like a stripe. Again, the main thing that I saw with your character that needed help was just small tweaks and then color scheme. So I hope that I was able to provide that help for you. I hope that you liked this. I hope I gave you some things to consider, and I hope I sparked some new ideas. Thank you for submitting, and I hope I was able to help you out a little bit. Come here, Abby. Do you want to film the outro with me? Come on.
I guess I thank you for watching. Go and thank the people for watching.
Thank you so much for submitting. I love making this series. I'm really happy to be continuing it. I am really happy that a lot of you guys I'm really happy that a lot of you guys enjoyed this series too. And give this video a thumbs up if you want a part 3. I would definitely be happy to make a part 3, and I think a lot of you guys will be too. I'm sorry if I wasn't able to get to your character specifically. I would help you all out if I could, but that would just be impossible. I'm only one person, so I guess we have to do a part 3.
Do you want your part 3? Do you want part 3? You want a part 3?
Let me know if you have any other questions about these characters or your characters, or maybe just some other general advice that you want. Feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. I will do my very best to get to them. There is a lot of you guys now, so I can't get to every single comment, but I will definitely try my best to. And thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and if you want the series to continue. And thank you to everyone who participated. I really appreciate it. I love all of the support that you guys give me on these little events. It shows me that you guys are really excited for these types of videos, so thanks again. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. I post new videos every single Wednesday and make a lot of art. I draw a lot of my own original characters and just a bunch of other fun stuff here, so feel free to check out my channel and subscribe if you want. And you can also follow me on any of my social media. They will be on screen now and linked in the description box below. If you can follow me on Instagram, I'll recommend following me there because that is where I'm most active and post my art and also do stuff like this. And so if you want to be a part of a future Help Me Art Dad video, go follow me on Instagram because that is where I'll be looking through the different hashtags. And there will also be a video on screen now and in the iCard for you to check out if you want. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Say bye.